Hampshire will take a lead of 342 runs into the last day of their well-contested LV County Championship match with Leicestershire at Grace Road after the visitors batted through all but a few overs of the penultimate day. They needed just 3 overs to get the last Leicestershire wicket before a run had been added. Charlie Schreck edged James Tomlinson behind for the bowler's 4th wicket, something matched by his opening partner Kyle Abbott. Leicestershire were all out for 296, and that gave Hampshire a first innings lead of 36. That had increased to 57 when Jimmy Adams was LBW to Schreck for 8. It was largely a day which followed the pattern of the other two. Plenty of batsmen got good starts and many a partnership flourished before being ended prematurely. It has all made for a very good game of cricket on an excellent pitch, which has been enjoyed by batsmen and bowlers alike. Will Smith and Joe Gatting added 44 runs for the second wicket, advancing the lead into 3 figures. 3 Hampshire men were out in the 40s, 3 of them had made 40 in the first innings as well. Smith had scored 46 here when he edged Anthony Ireland to jig a naked slip. The best partnership of the day inevitably involved James Vince. He and Gatting saw their side through to lunch before Vince began to express himself in the manner he has been doing all season. He's producing every shot in the book at the moment, and rather remarkably, he took the number of 4s he's hit so far this summer in 6 matches into 3 figures. By the end of this knock, another very impressive one, he'd scored an incredible 442 runs in Championship cricket this year in boundaries alone. He was well backed up by Gatting, who ensured that Hampshire kept themselves on top of their opponents in a game where the advantage has switched from one team to the other throughout. A 3 through the offside off Nathan Buck, who was not able to match his last couple of performances with the ball, carried Vince to yet another 50. Only 3 times so far this summer he's failed to raise his bat for getting to at least the half-century mark. The superlatives required to describe his performances so far this year are beginning to run out, this being his 12th 50 in his last 17 Championship knocks, taking into account last season. He needed just 62 balls for his latest one, from which he'd added 10 more boundaries to his almost ridiculous tally. His battle with Daryl Mitchell as the best batsman of the season continues. He was legged before to a ball which didn't get up as much as he expected, having moved on to 56, which left him 10 runs short of Mitchell on 657 so far this summer. It is still some effort. Hampshire would have wanted to push up the scoring rate on this day to get as far ahead as possible, and they were helped when the free-scoring Adam Wheater was dropped twice early on, first on 0 by Buck of his own bowling, and then on 4 by Greg Smith at slip off the bowling of Nake. Leicestershire could really have done without those moments, one of few mistakes they've made so far in this match. Buck had more success a couple of overs later when Gatting on 43 failed to keep a pull down, allowing Angus Robson to take a catch in the deep. Having put on 90 with Vince and 13 with Wheater, he now fell with a total on 168 for 4. The lead was in the 200s and it was added to by Wheater, who dominated the next partnership with Sean Irvine. The diminutive Wheater really packs a punch with his shots, and he was producing just the kind of innings his side needed at this stage of the game. In 14 overs, he put on 46 more runs with Irvine before both men fell in the same over. That was bowled by Schreck, who first saw Wheater drive him just after tea to Robson in the covers to go for 46. And then Irvine on 9 edged to Nake just 4 balls later to reduce the visitors to 215 for 6, the lead now standing at 251. So there was still nothing to choose between these two teams. By now Hampshire had lost top spot in the second division to Worcestershire after they beat Essex, but they were giving themselves a good chance of returning to the top themselves by the end of this match, with Matt Coles and Michael Bates the latest pair to forge a decent partnership. In 14 overs together, they put on 41 runs to take their side 292 runs ahead. Bates then nicked off to Nake after scoring a dozen, the batsman disappointed with the shot he chose, or at least the execution of it. Abbott followed by being run out in the unluckiest of ways by Rob Taylor, with 4 more runs needed to take that advantage to 300. Certainly never nice to see a man get out in this manner. This shot from new man Danny Briggs did take that lead beyond 300, and with half an hour left in the day, some may have expected a declaration. But Adams was happy for his side to bat on just to make life a little more difficult for their hosts on the final day. That allowed Coles to play some attractive shots towards the end as he neared in on his third 50 for Hampshire and his first of the season. He duly got there off his 55th delivery with this single off Shrek. The day was soon at an end with him ending on 53, while Briggs had played brightly for his 28 runs, as this pair added 46 runs in the day's last 9 overs before bad light took the players off a fraction before the schedule close. We will await Adams' decision to see if he declares overnight. His side possibly have enough as they ended the day on 306 for 8 for a lead of 342. It's all set up rather nicely for a fascinating finale, with both sides still having a chance of victory, while the draw cannot be discounted either.